be sure that the blanket isn't too far behind the kidneys. So don't let it shimmy down below the waist. It's just puffing up through the back of the heart, but like I said, the scapula bones are on the floor. Now, if you have low back issues, just bend the knees and keep the feet rooted into the floor. Or if you happen to have a nice bolster or a pillow, just get as snug as a bug in a rug. Also, if you happen to have an eye pillow, you can place it on your orbital bone structure right now. And just surrender here. Breathing in and out through the nose. Soften through the jaw. Give it a little jiggle. Maybe exhale through the mouth. Just starting that process of decompressing and letting go. Just softening. Maybe you want to sway your head from side to side, starting to massage space into the neck and the shoulders. So just start to tune in to your physical body. See if there are any areas that are whispering out or screaming out at you. And listen to your body awareness. It's a lot smarter than our minds. So make sure that you modify the poses as you need to, by softening or just creating little micro movements. So let's come to the primary focus of our practice, which is our breath, known as pranayama. So as you exhale, contract your navel towards the spine and gently push all of the breath up and out through the nostrils. Squeeze it all up and out. As you inhale, invite the breath into the lower belly as it expands in every direction possible. And as you exhale, take all those directions, contract them towards the midline, and push all of the breath up and out through the nostrils. Again, inhale, effervescent, fresh new energy into the lower belly. As it expands into the lower belly, into the rib cage, and swirls open the heart. As you exhale, the breath will leave the heart, the rib cage contracts, and the navel presses towards the spine. Again, inhale, fresh new energy into that lower belly, into the rib cage, into the heart, all the way up to the shoulders, massaging away all tension, cares, concerns, and responsibilities. As you exhale, the breath will leave the shoulders, the heart, the rib cage, and the navel contracts towards the spine. Again, inhale deep down into that lower belly, filling your entire torso up with love, peace, and healing breath. As you exhale, just continue to let go. So as we continue to establish a slower, deeper, rhythmic breath, scan your emotional body too. How are you feeling? Are you feeling a little bit vulnerable lying on your back like this with your heart exposed up towards the sky? Just take time to tune in and see how you're really feeling. So allow all emotions to bubble up today without suppressing or telling yourself that you're supposed to be feeling some way or being brave and too strong. It's okay to feel fear as well. But then I also want you to acknowledge today is a really, really good day to focus on hope, inspiration, innovation, new ideas, change, taking a practical jump to start something new. Something that you want to merge into your life. So just pause here and feel. And just keep coming back to the breath, keeping it super, super simple. It's just like life. When life hits us with doozies, we just come back to the breath so that we can respond instead of react, that knee-jerk reaction. And then from here, go ahead, bend the knees, root your feet into the earth. You can slide that bolster out from underneath you, either with your foot or your hands. And then it doesn't matter what side, just roll off onto one side into a fetal position. You could even use your blanket blanket as a pillow for your head. Anything goes with your arms. And then just take the knees kind of closer towards your heart. It doesn't have to be crazy tucked, right? But just enough so that you feel a nice little curvature in your low back. You might want to rock from side to side, just nurturing your inner child. You might want to be still and just keep coming back to the breath. Keep your eyes closed and set an intention for your practice. So an intention could be something like more expansive hips, maybe more love, compassion, patience in your life, inspiration, or world peace, or perhaps some inspiration to find your dharma, your purpose. Okay, so whatever side you've chosen, we're here, we're doing this, and we extend our arms out in front of us. If it's more comfortable for you to extend the top leg or the bottom leg, you can do that too. I like it right here. You can either eliminate your little pillow, or you can keep it right there. So go ahead and inhale for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as we exhale, we take that top arm and sweep it above the head. And we're going to exhale for an 8 count, right? Allowing the exhalation to be longer than the inhalation, and look over your right shoulder. And then as we inhale, sweeping that arm back up towards the sky this time for a 5 count. So we inhale, and now we begin to exhale. Try to keep the fingers onto the earth above the head as you roll your heart up towards the sky, as well as the shoulder girdles opening up. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and stay here. Pick the head up and try to get the right ear literally onto the floor, and breathe. Roll into the back of the right shoulder. Perhaps that left hand or that lower hand wants to embrace the top knee to encourage the knees to cascade closer towards the earth. Maybe the arm that you're extending out to the side, you can bend through the elbow, Kalyasana arms, or extend the arm back behind you. So you can kind of play with little different variations here to see how you can open up through your pectoral. Breathing into your armpit, breathing into your lymphatics. And then extend your arms back out like wings. Exhale, and then inhale, sweeping that top arm up towards the sky. Good. From here, roll back onto your back side. Your head can be supported. Okay, so if it's too much of a roll, you can just release the roll a little bit and allow that natural curvature to be supported. So the knees stay bent, the arms are just out to the side. Pick the head up and tilt it to the right. And then as we exhale, go ahead, lower that left ear closer towards the floor. Breathing in and breathing out into the side of the right neck, to down into the clavicle, into the saline. You don't have to use your blanket or your towel. Just gives you a little bit more support. And then inhale the nose back up towards the sky. Pick the head up, shift the crown of the head to the left, and then wash your right ear all the way down. Stay connected to the breath. Maybe pick your head up a little bit more and melt that right ear closer towards the earth. Inhale, gaze back up towards the sky. And then this time we're going to take the knees up and then roll off onto the opposite side. So I'm just going to switch my perspective for you. And then we extend our arms back out to the side again, right in front of us. You rock that hip. Get comfortable. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now the top arm does the same thing like we did on the other side. Sweeping the fingertips above the head onto the earth and out through that shoulder. Inhale, sweeping the fingertips up towards the sky. 3, 2, 1. Palms merge together. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. One more time. Inhale, reaching for the moon as though you're drawing a rainbow around on top of your body. Exhale. This time we're going to stay with this twist. Gazing over our shoulder. Maybe the hand embraces the top knee to encourage it closer towards the earth. Roll into the back of the shoulder, the back of the ribcage. Perhaps you bend through that arm that's extended out through the shoulder. I'm going to get really inquisitive here. See how you can open up your body. Exhale through the mouth at any time that you feel like you're holding on. This should feel really yummy in the low back. If it doesn't, you need to soften the pose. Maybe take your knees down a little bit. Sometimes I like to poke my upper rib so that it kind of melts closer towards the floor, just coaxing it open. And then extend your arms back out like wings. Sweep that arm back up towards the sky as we retreat back into a child pose. You can eliminate your little cushion underneath your head as we roll back onto our back. Coming into Apanasana. So embracing the tops of the knees. The energy that travels down. So this is awesome if you're on your moon cycle, ladies, or if you have low back spasms. So as we exhale, we take our knees towards our nose and our nose towards our knees. And as we inhale, we draw the knees away from us so that the hands, the shoulders are drawing away from the ears. And as we exhale, you drive the navel towards the earth. You don't even have to pick up the head if you don't want to. Inhaling, big belly breath, make it full. Exhale, contract the knees towards the heart. Maybe the nose comes up, it doesn't need to. Again. Inhaling and exhaling. So now we're going to chant Om as we exhale. It's quite interesting lying on your back. So inhale, draw the knees away. Again, inhale, knees away, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Here we go. Inhale, draw the knees away, keep big toes together. Splay the knees out to the side, and as we exhale, gather the knees in front of the heart again. Inhale, drawing the knees away, out to the side. Exhale, drawing the knees back in front of the heart. Starting to warm up through the hip flexors. Inhale forward. The slower you breathe and flow, the better. Pause here, and then splay the knees out to the side. Draw them forward as you inhale. As you exhale, take the knees back into the heart, just like we're rowing a boat. Knees out to the side, big toes together. Draw the knees away from you, but together, and then the knees in front of the heart. Just rowing your boat gently down the stream. Gather the knees back into the heart. Sweetly roll off onto your side body. Extend that top leg long. Use the assistance of the top arm and the bottom arm to pull yourself up into a comfortable seat. So some of you may desire to sit on blocks or a bolster, and just know that when I say become comfortable, I mean it. So if this doesn't feel good in a cross-legged position, maybe you extend your legs long and forward. Perhaps you would prefer to sit on your heels. You choose, try them all on for size and see how you can sit in a comfortable seat. If you could visualize that we're going to stay here for 3 hours, that will give you a better perspective of what you need to do. So keep out through the fingers, either onto your bolster or onto the earth. Take time to roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Okay, so now pull the rib cage back in and exhale. As we inhale, the palms face up towards the sky as we draw a healing bubble around our bodies and the palms connect. As we exhale, chin melts into the chest as we wingspan our arms far back behind our shoulders. Engage Mula Bandha. So inhaling, drawing up through that anal sphincter, sex organs, pulling the navel towards the spine. So it's like a Kegels, a constant Kegels. Exhale, chin melts into the chest. So really picking up the energy. We're getting rooted today. Inhale, allowing ourselves to feel. And now interlace your fingers. Press your palms up towards the sky. Give your particular offering up and over to the universe. We all have something special to share. Chin melts into the chest. Maybe you rock your head from side to side. Maybe you pendulum your torso from side to side. Just get into your practice, get into your body. Inhale, gaze forward. Release the hands into a peace sign. Own it, feel it, and share it. Interlace your peace signs, pull behind the nape of the neck. Keep the crown of the head up towards the sky. Your heart emanating forward, but pull the rib cage back in. Let me see your bicep muscles bulge as we pendulum off to the right. Inhale up, exhale, pendulum off to the left. Inhale up, be aware that that left elbow stays up towards the sky. Inhale up, and then exhale. Inhale up, sweep the hands up towards the sky, release the hands, create big circles through the wrists. How does it feel in the wrists or your forearms? And then allow the hands to lower shoulder height, reversing the undulation or the circle. Just waking up through those joints, and then connect all 10 fingers together. Draw your fingertips forward, up towards the sky, and back behind you. Then the fingertips up, forward, down, and now back behind you. Roll your shoulders forward. Again, fingertips down, forward, up towards the sky. Slide the shoulders down the back body. And then forward, downward, backward. And then the fingertips face each other, or let's place them towards the earth and draw the hands shoulder height. From here, draw your fingertips in, up, and out. In, down, and out. A few more times, just discovering what your range of motion is, how the arms are feeling. Stay connected to the breath. Ujjayi breath, if you're familiar with that. It's partial closure of the epiglottis, the trachea. It stokes that internal fire inside of us, and it keeps us warm. Inhale, open up your heart. And then as we exhale, cross your right arm on top of the left and give yourself the most well-deserved love. And hug. Okay, so the shoulders slide down the back body, so do the elbows. As we wash the right ear towards the shoulder. Chin melts into the chest, washing the left ear towards the left shoulder. Just nice big neck circles. Stay rooted through the sits bones. You might want to come off of your props if you're on them. Otherwise, slide the right rib cage to the right. Draw your body forward. Inhale to the left and up. So allow the head to initiate the movement through the neck, which invites the rest of the torso to flow in this nice circular motion. Yet you're keeping your sits bones rooted into the floor. The next time the head comes all the way up towards the sky, just pause here. Draw your chin into the chest. Inhale, inhale, balloon that belly out. Hold the breath, inhale a little bit more, squeeze so tightly you just melt it right inside of yourself. Now exhale through the mouth, open the arms. Release the hands down. If you are propped up on support, come off of it and take the knees up towards the sky and spread them wider than the mat. So flexing the toes up towards the ceiling, heels are nice and wide, the heel of the hand directly behind the hips. Lift your heart, exhale, cascade your knees to one direction. Inhale, knees back up towards the sky, exhale, off to the other direction. So now we're becoming aware of how our hip flexors and our hips feel today. Every day, be willing to be a beginner, right? Just discovering how the pose feels, how the breath connects us, opens us. So now float your knees off to one direction, it doesn't really matter which one. And the knee is directly out through the hip. Try to root that sit bone into the floor and become aware of the sensation. Keep the feet flexed to stabilize through the knees. And now pick that hip up and look over the shoulder. Should be a nice little twist in the low back. Inhale, look forward, pivot onto those heels again as we cascade our knees off to the other side. Be aware the knees directly out through the hip. Try to root that gluteal, that sit bone onto the floor. How does it feel on this side? And then pick that hip up and look over your shoulder. And then inhale, lift forward. Recross your legs in the most unnatural way, and that will be the opposite, or just come into your comfortable seats. TP out through the fingers, inhale, roll the shoulders forward, up, back and down. Fingertips touch your shoulders, elbows down, back behind you, up towards the sky. Try to gather the elbows down in front of the heart. Big circles here, full range of motion. Really enjoy breathing in and out through the nose. Cultivating and harnessing your life force. Once the elbows come down, let's reverse it. Elbows draw forward, up towards the sky. Slide the shoulders down the back body. Good, and then inhale, forward, upward, backward, downward. A few more times. Inhaling forward, upward, backward, and downward. Good, release those hands in front of the heart into a prayer. And then inhale, open up the temple doors to your heart. As we exhale, let's cross that left arm on top of the right as we give ourselves a well-deserved hug once again. And then washing the left ear towards the shoulder, chin into the chest. Wash the right ear towards the shoulder. Go at your own pace. So if you find a hot spot, which is an area that doesn't feel so yummy, you might want to hang out there and breathe into it. And now allow the ribcage to float towards the left, soothes you forward, draw it to the right, and back up towards the sky. Nice and slow. Into our gentle practice. Nothing to prove. Draw the crown of the head back up towards the sky. Exhale. Drop the chin into the chest. Inhale. Balloon the belly out. Inhale, 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 inhale. Hold the breath in and squeeze everything, even your eyelashes. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Extend the arms back out and then down onto the earth. Let's go ahead and extend our right leg out to the side. The left heel can stay close towards the pubic bone. You can always sit on your rolled up blanket underneath the sits bones. If you're finding that your back is really rounded like that, we want to roll onto the front of the pubic bone. If you happen to have a bolster, you can always place it right in front of you. Please keep your right foot flexed towards your right shoulder. Walk your hands forward, and perhaps you'd like to swoosh from side to side, like seaweed in the ocean. Or maybe you want to curl your heart up towards the sky like a wave and then wash it forward. Just keep projecting the heel out, engaging through the right quadricep as we start to open up through the adductors, the abductors, just opening up where we need to. Perhaps you can become flat like a pancake or hug your bolster. Few deep breaths here. It's pretty natural for that right sit bone to lift up, so don't judge yourself. Please do not berate yourself in any of these poses. If you can't touch your toes, who cares? But what does matter is that the breath remains calm and steady and beautiful. And then sweep the crown of the head up towards the sky. We're going to push that left hip into the earth with our right hand today and extend that left arm up towards the sky. Feel it here, keep rooting down, down, down. And then take that left hand behind the left ear so the elbow is bent, and then extend that arm on top of the ear, staying with your breath. So there's no forcing or struggling. Just keep pushing that left hip down and feel the whole left side of your intercostals open up. So now release your right hand down onto the earth in front of your right leg. Keep rolling the heart up towards the sky, sliding the shoulders down the back body. If you have the ability, of course, the right foot can come down onto the earth, but you're feeling a nice stretch through the whole left side. You can even hold on to the flexed right foot, but remember, we're being gentle today. Spiral your left palm up towards the sky, and then sweep your left fingertips back behind you. And then out towards the side of you, fingertips in front of you. Now the palm faces the earth. Now flip the palm up towards the sky and roll your heart wide open. Sometimes this feels like such a pleasure pain pose to my shoulders, but allow it to feel more pleasure than pain. Just sand in the way that jaggedness. Maybe you want to rock the hand right above the ear, right about there is where it gets sticky. Just sand it away. And then extend that arm. Take the hand back behind the head. And then lifting the elbow out to the side. That's what's going to initiate the head to lift back on top of the groin. From here, frame your right foot with your hands. If you need, you can always have your blocks. Sometimes it's like, well, my arms aren't long enough to touch the earth, right? So you can always use your blocks. So begin to meander towards your right foot. And then the left hand, try to reach for the outside perimeter of that right foot. And if that doesn't happen, you can hold onto your right shin. You can also use your scarf, your strap, your belt, your tie, and hold on to it with that left hand. So now the right elbow is bent, right palm roots into the floor. Inhale, pull as long as you can through the tail, through the head. And now as you exhale, push into the right hand and take the navel towards your right. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, pull as long as you can. Exhale, twist. 1 more time. Inhale, exhale, twist. Now inhale, exhale. See if your chin can come close to the outside perimeter of your right knee. Maybe your hands just embrace your foot. Maybe this is as far as you've gone. Okay, but we're all doing it. Stay with your breath. Allow it to feel good. If you need to create little micro movements like I'm doing, I'm just kind of swaying from side to side because I'm listening to my body language, not my mind. Okay, but the breath is guiding me. It's so calm, soothing my nervous system, helping me release. And then release the hands onto the outside perimeter of your legs and just walk your hands up back to your hips. Pivot your heart forward and then extend the left leg out, maybe shake it out. And then just begin to windshield wiper your toes from side to side, discovering if you have any range of motion in your hip flexors or how that feels today. So practicing a gentle practice does not mean it's not deep. In fact, in my more gentle practices, I'm able to unknot and unwind a lot more, especially in the myofascial tissue. Some emotions come bubbling out a lot too. So from here, take your right heel close towards your pubic bone. See how that feels today. If it needs to come out, or if you need to do something else, I totally understand. Flexing your left toes towards your left shoulder, engaging through the quadricep. Hands walk forward. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale your way, move forward, not necessarily downward. Try to keep your heart projected forward. I always visualize that I have a t-shirt And it has this emerald green light from my heart center, and it's always projecting forward. It'd be really fun to make one of those, right? We have time. If anyone wants to do it, I'll help. So again, it's natural for that left sit bone to lift up. And then inhale, sweeping the crown of the head back up towards the sky. Let's frame, the left hair comes into the right hip. We expand the right arm up towards the sky. So push it down, get really rooted and grounded today. And then sweep that right hand behind the ear so the elbow is bent as though you're breathing through the right armpit. And then expand that right arm on top of the ear without using the shoulders. Keep twirling your heart up towards the sky. Just feel how that feels. And then you can release that left hand in front of your engaged left leg. You can also come down onto your forearm. Okay, just keep rolling the heart up towards the sky. You could also slide that left hand down to the flex foot, but remember, we're here to be gentle. Keep reaching your right arm towards the left. Flip the right palm up towards the sky. Sweep the fingertips back behind you. And then inhale in front. Exhale, roll your heart open. And back. Inhaling in front. Exhale, roll, roll, roll. Breathe. One more time. The right arm extends on top of the ear. Slide the right hand behind the neck and lift the right elbow up so it pulls the crown of the head up towards the sky as we pivot off towards our straight left leg. Okay. Inhale, lift up through the heart. Maybe you need your strap. See if you can sweep your right hand onto the outside perimeter of that left foot. It's kind of far sometimes. Otherwise, the shin is fine, or the quadricep. You just keep your spine nice and long. Left elbow is bent, left hand is underneath the elbow. Inhale, pull long. Exhale, take your navel, your heart, and your gaze towards the left. Inhale, pull length. Exhale, twist. Inhale, pull length. Exhale, twist. So from here, see if the chin can slide down to the outside perimeter of that left knee. Feel your low back expand too. If you need to kind of wriggle around, you get to. But make sure that your movements are full of intention and integrity and authenticity. So we don't get injured, we always just listen to the inhalation and the exhalation. If the breath becomes constricted, you back away from the pose. Ease up. Try to soften through the shoulders and release the hands as you walk them back up the length of that left leg, sweeping the crown of the head up towards the sky. Take both legs forward and shake them out, shake them out, shake them out, shake them out, shake them out. And then bend or swivel off onto one side. Let's draw our body up onto our hands and knees. So sometimes it's nice if you're on a tile floor or on a hardwood floor to add a little bit more softness underneath the knees with your blanket or your towel. If you're on carpet, it's perfect already. So spread your fingers nice and wide. Make sure that the smile of the elbows are facing each other. So just see if you're hypermobile. Can those elbows go forward? If so, you're hypermobile and you need to be aware that the elbows face each other so we don't blow them out. And from here, let's start to trace the perimeter of our hands. This is one of my favorite wrist openings. Arms stay nice and straight as we just trace our hands in one direction and then reverse the direction. Feel the sensation in the pinky fingers, the ring fingers, the middle fingers the index fingers and the thumbs and the wrists. And then that comes to a standstill. Point your toes back behind you. Push into the shins like they're gigantic feet. And bubble out through the back of the heart into a cat. As we inhale, melt the heart down. Pull it through the gateway of the shoulders. Gaze up at the ceiling. As you exhale, drive the navel towards the sky. Take the sits bones towards the tailbone, making the hips tiny. Now opposite, take the sits bones wide, making the hips nice and hard. And then as we exhale, round through the back and see if the hips can descend all the way down onto the heels as you rest your forehead reverently down towards the earth. So for some of you, sorry Holly, that doesn't feel so good. And you could use your bolster and you could sit on it. Okay, so this will help stabilize through the knees or soften through the knees. And then you can take your hands forward into a child pose. You can also place the bolster where my dog is right now. And you could hug your bolster like you're hugging your beloved. Maybe sway your hips from side to side. Maybe you wash your forehead from side to side. Now see if your hands can sweep onto your low back. If you have limited range of motion, you're going to embrace your strap. Otherwise, the palms are facing each other like you're holding onto a crystal ball. Okay? And then we hook the knuckles up towards the sky. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, hook the knuckles forward. Roll through one shoulder at a time. Sway your arms from side to side. Just breathe. And then the hands come back down to the low back. Sweep your arms forward. Draw yourself deliciously back up onto your hands and knees. Knees are nice and wide now. Big toes are connected. Take your props off onto one side and visualize you're drawing a circle with your navel. So I like to pulse my hips to my right heel, to my left heel, and then draw my body forward. Nice and slow. And you can get really creative. Maybe you roll off onto one side. You're like, oh my gosh, that spot right there, I found it. So it's up to you to get into your body. I can only guide you through something I've been doing for about 29 years. And now let's reverse it. Sometimes I pretend I'm a primal animal or a tiger. Just have a lot of fun in your practice. It can be playful, yet very deep and juicy. Exhale through the mouth at any time that you feel like you're holding on. Maybe you just pulse back and forth over a particular area. There's no right or wrong here, unless your breath is short and stagnant. And then neutralize, draw your knees back together. Okay. So from here, we're gonna walk our hands off to the left, all the way off to the left, as far back as you possibly can. Plug the right hip back a little bit more, heels are together, and we're just gonna pulse that left gluteal down to the right heel as far as it's willing to flow, and then inhale, draw your body back up onto your hands and knees. Exhale, pulse it down. Inhale, back up. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, down. So that left gluteal is kissing that right heel. The forehead comes close to the left knee. Then if you have even more space, embrace your left wrist with your right hand and spread through the whole right side of your body. Whew. Then if you have even more space, pivot the right elbow and the heart and the armpit up towards the sky. And as you exhale, melt it back down. So remember, it's up to you if you want to stay still and just allow the breath to move you. But I'm a little bit more of a mover and shaker in my practice. So I encourage you freedom to do what you want to do. And then pause, walk your hands forward. Pull your body back up onto your hands and knees. Knees are directly underneath the hips for now as we swoosh our hips from side to side. getting more of a watery element into it. And in fact, I like to create figure eights so the right hip comes back to the right wall and forward, the left hip comes back to the left wall and forward. So I can sink really deep into the hip flexor. I feel a little bit congested there. And then pause. Let's explore down dog. If down dog is not appropriate, you walk your hands forward and come into a puppy pose. Otherwise, hands are underneath the shoulders. First, we're going to pick the knees up just a little bit and then try to plant your heart on top of the thighs. And then straighten out through the legs. Make you pedal through one knee at a time as we just blossom into our down dog. How does it feel? Try to use your core instead of pushing so heavy into the hands. And then we inhale, flow back down onto our hands and knees. We walk our hands off to the other side, the right side. Walk the hands as far back as you can. Take that left hip back. Inhale, exhale, pulse that right heel down onto the left heel. Inhale, stack the shoulders on top of the wrist. Exhale, pulse it down. Inhale, drop back up. Exhale, pulse it down. One more time. Inhale up unless you love the pulsing. Exhale down. Good. And then rest your forehead onto your right knee. Embracing the right wrist with the left hand. And then start to spiral your heart and your elbow up towards the sky. As it floats back down towards the earth. Just continue to pulse. Feel that whole left side open up. Into the low back, into the rib cage. And then release. Walk your hands forward once again. Let's express ourselves in a down dog or a puppy pose. It's up to you. Let's try to spread our feet as wide as our mat. If your heels have yet to walk on right on the floor, just walk your hands back a little bit, but not all the way to the toes. And then sway your hips from side to side. Feel expansion in the outside perimeter of the hips. Take the swaying to a standstill. See if you can thread the right arm underneath your torso to embrace that left ankle. If that's not appropriate and you're in a puppy pose, just go ahead, reach your left hand to the outside perimeter of your left knee. There is always something that you can modify and do if it's not appropriate for you. Right hand comes forward, and then now the left hand threads underneath. Roll that right armpit higher towards the sky. And then release, come back down onto your hands and knees. From here, draw your knees together, tuck your toes under, and then descend the hips heavy onto the heels. Starting to open up the acupressure points in our feet. Let's open up some acupressure points in our hands as well. So the hands come forward, thumbs away from you, TP out through the fingers. And just keep those hips heavy onto the heels. Sometimes I kind of pulse around, creating little micro movements. If you have to sit in a cross-legged position, you get to, or if you need to spread your arms out to the side, you get to. Just start to open up through the hands to the wrists. And now let's see if the hands can come flat onto the floor. We're going to come into the Kapalabhati breath. So as we exhale through the nostrils, we drive our navel towards our spine. And then as we inhale, the breath just floods through both nostrils. So focus on the exhalation. Okay, we're gonna burn up everything that is in our way of our higher being. So here we go. Release those hands, untuck the toes, shake them out, and then retreat the hips back onto the heels. See if the knees can draw together. Let's open up through the wrists a little bit more, elbows draw together in front of the heart, interlace your fingers, and start to create figure eights through the wrists. Pretty intense wrist opening if you're able to flatten out through the palms. And now reverse the figure eight. Don't let the mind get too involved. It'll be, oh, well, how do I reverse it? Press your palms forward, sweep them back up towards the sky. And then as though we're surrendering, elbows draw behind the shoulders, and then the hands come down. Knees and heels are together. Hands are underneath the shoulders, and see if you pick the kneecaps up. It might feel really sensitive into the tops of the feet. Yes, it feels like poison at first, but it will dissipate. Hands maybe come onto the knees, maybe the hands come in front of the heart. If you don't feel anything at all, hands can come underneath the shoulders, and you pick those hips up and bubble out through the back of the heart. And then slowly allow the knees to come back down onto the floor. Hands draw forward, retuck the toes, puppy pose or down dog. Shake your head yes and say something beautiful and positive about yourself. Inhale, sweep that right leg up towards the sky. And then exhale, step it in between the hands. If it gets stuck halfway, help it forward with the right hand. And then lower down onto the left knee, or your way, just come into this low lunge, Anjaneyasana. So TP out through the fingers, take your left knee as far back as you can. If you need to pat it, go ahead, take time to do that. And then inhale, sweep the arms out and up towards the sky. Settle the shoulders down the back body. Stand firmly on the right foot so the right hip plugs back, left hip draws forward. Feel that left hip flexor open up. If you have any low back pain, just pull the hips back a little bit, okay? So we don't just dump our belly out forward. We continue to take the pubic bone closer towards the navel. And then we extend our arms out to the side. Frame your right foot with your hands. Plug your right thumb into your hip flexor. If you feel like it, you can always pick that left kneecap up off the earth, but it's going to make it a little bit more challenging. Roll the right shoulder on top of the left, and then sweep the right hand up towards the sky. Keep drawing the right knee closer towards the left shoulder. Stay with your breath. And then frame your right foot with your hands once again. Inhale, look upward. Exhale, straighten out right leg as much as it's willing to flow. Bend right knee, scoop the heart up towards the sky. We're just pulsing back and forth a few more times. Exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And we're going to pause here in the runner stretch or half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. So you can always place your hands on blocks if your arms aren't long enough, right? If those hamstrings are screaming out, go ahead, support yourself. See if the right sit bone can slide back. Lift your heart, take the shoulders out of the pose, right? Slide them back. And then see if your chin can slide down onto your shin. Just pretend if it's not there. Coming down onto your forearms, or perhaps you want to grip your right foot with your right hand. Make sure your right quadricep is rock hard. Maybe you want to touch it, so you take that right kneecap towards your right hip. If you're feeling more tension in the IT band, you can always take your flexed right foot off to the right and feel a different quadrant in the gluteal open. Just breathe into the opening. Allow your breath to be more expansive so that your muscles can expand as well. Okay. Take the right toes back up towards the sky. Point through the right foot. Feel the top of the foot open. Now bend through the right knee. We're going to come into our pigeon pose here. I'll show that real quick, and then I'll show what you can do if it doesn't fit today. Walk your right foot off to the left. That left leg stays straight as that right shin comes down onto the floor. If it's extremely uncomfortable, place a block, a pillow, or something underneath the right hip. So start to get comfortable in that, my friends. If that is not okay for your knee, for your hip, or you're like, whoa, that's tight, recline onto your back and cross your right ankle on top of the left. Keep your right foot flexed. Spread the right hand in between the inner thighs to interlace the fingers in front of the shin or both behind the hamstring. Just keep that right foot flexed, pushing the right knee forward. You can even create little circles here. If you're in Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, which is our one-leg pigeon pose, keep your right foot flexed. Take the right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale, and then as you exhale, if you happen to have a bolster, place it on top of the right thigh and just hug it. Maybe you need to place a few blocks. That's too many for me. The block underneath the head. So the whole idea here is not to push away the earth. Do not push away the abundance. Hug it, open up to it, so the elbows come out from underneath the shoulders. So support yourself accordingly. If you don't have a bolster, maybe you have a block or maybe a book or something. The forehead can come down. Or maybe you rest your sternum on the block and the forehead on the block. Maybe you kind of wiggle your hips from side to side. Okay, but we're not running away from the pose. So if you're not feeling it, you need to dive deeper and deeper into it. You need to find those areas that are holding on so you can release them. So you can find balance and equanimity. No dis-ease in the body. And then the hands come underneath the shoulders. If you're reclining on your back, roll yourself back up. If you have props underneath the right hip, you want to eliminate it. Take your right heel closer towards your left, cascade off onto the right hip, and spiral your left foot onto the outside perimeter of that right leg. So it's really nice to elevate the hips up off the earth here. So if you happen to have blocks or a bolster or something you can sit high on. Yeah, boy, that was hard. So the left foot comes onto the outside edge of that right leg. So now we have a nice neutral curvature. We're not rounding through the back. We hug that left knee with a smile of the right elbow. As we reach the left hand high up towards the sky, and watch that left hand float right behind our tailbone. So the hand can come onto a block, it can come onto the earth. So breathing in, roll into the front of the pubic bone, and as you exhale, tug your left knee closer towards your armpit and take your navel, your heart, and gaze over your left shoulder. If you have more space, create elongation through the right side body as the right elbow comes into the outside perimeter of the IT band. Breathing in and breathing out, twisting the navel. Unwind, unbind, twirl off to your right. Inhale, sweep the crown of the head back up towards the sky. Eliminating your props underneath your right hip. As we take our kneecaps up towards the sky again. Spread your feet wider than your mat. Heel the hand behind the gluteals as we add a little bit more movement and lubrication into our hip flexors, into our hips. Why not get a little core in today? The knees are up towards the sky. If you have blocks, embrace one block in between the knees. And then embrace the other block above the head. I love to do this sequence with weights in my hands. So you can just visualize that you have weights in your hands. And then your straight arms come forward. You round to the back like a C in the alphabet, and you lower down one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, arms above head. Exhale, straight arms forward, chin into the chest. push forward and upward. If you got stuck, use your hands. Inhale, so I'll really modify. Exhale, lower down. Even if you need to assist yourself to lower down from your pubic bone to your head, you can. Inhale, like a yoga wave above the head. Exhale, hands forward like you're serving a platter. Come up, help yourself up with your hands if you need to. Inhale. If this is super easy, you can always extend one leg straight. Inhale, above the head. Exhale, hands forward, choose the chest, push forward and upward. Inhale, switch, kick your legs if that's what you're doing. Inhale, above head. Exhale, push forward, sweep upward. We only have 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, descend. Feel yourself roll down 1 vertebra at a time. Inhale, above head. Exhale, hands each into the chest, push forward, sweep upward, inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, above head. Exhale, reach forward and come upward. Eliminate the blocks, unless you'd like to sit on them now as the soles of the feet come together. Okay. Let's see, let's open up our hearts a little bit more. So our pericardium meridian is right here in our wrist, and it governs the heart and it promotes joy. So let's get into a joyful place. So the heels lift up, the heels aren't too close to the groin. Let's see if this even fits you today. So that little place where you would check your pulse comes right underneath the ankles. Can you even get there? It's okay if you can't, just stay wherever you're at. Your fingers should be naturally curled. You can round through your back today, so bubble out through the back of the heart, and then project your forehead down into the arches of the feet. Some of you might really enjoy taking the blocks in between the feet and resting your forehead onto the feet. I've seen it where the hands don't even really reach underneath the ankles, so do what you need to do. So now close your eyes. If you want to roll one ear towards the shoulder, you can. Otherwise, just keep that connection to the forehead, to the inside arch of the foot. And then as you inhale, visualize a healing color. Attach it to your breath and draw it up through your tailbone, behind your sacrum, behind the kidneys, into the heart, behind the nape of the neck, all the way to the crown of the head. As the breath fountains back into the earth, into the feet, it's like a conduit, just circling around this positive, loving, healing energy. Allowing yourself to feel. And then inhale, sweeping the crown of the head back up towards the sky. Release and just sit here for a moment. Open up your eyes. I hope you feel joyful. You can either spiral off onto one side, come back up onto your hands and knees, cross one leg in front of the other, and come up onto your hands and knees. So from here, we're going to walk our knees slightly behind our hips, just like that. And then we're going to bend the elbows, shave the side body with the elbows, and come all the way down onto the floor. Forehead rests onto the earth. If you have low back issues, tenderness, spread straight legs wide. Please push into all 10 toes as you root down through the pubic bone and lift the heart up off the earth for Bhujangasana, our cobra pose. So roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Lift the bottom rib up a little bit more and lift your hands up off the earth. Now you know what muscles you should be working, the erector spinae. And then we'll wash our forehead back down onto the earth. And we're going to come into 3 rounds of hissing cobra. So TP out through the fingers. Inhale, lift up, hiss it down, just like a cobra would. Again, inhale, lift the heart, keep pushing into your toenails. Again, inhale and exhale. Inhale, look forward, release your elbows underneath the shoulders. Just take them forward a little bit more, so slightly in front of the shoulders. Maybe sway those hips from side to side. And then let's wash the left ear towards the shoulder, chin melts into the chest. Right ear towards the right shoulder, either half circles or full circles. Keep sliding the shoulders down the back body so your clavicle is really broad. Collarbone. And then if you'd like, go ahead, reverse the movement in the opposite direction. Sometimes it just feels really good to drop the chin into the chest. And then wash your forehead all the way back down. Push yourself up into your hands and knees or plank pose, and we'll arrive into a down dog. Inhale, try to lift your left leg as high as you can and elevate high onto the ball of the right foot like you have a stiletto on or a high heel. Step that left foot in between the hands. Remember, if it got stuck, just help it forward. Your way, come into a low lunge, slide that right knee as far back as you can. Okay, stay with your breath. And then inhaling, sweeping your heart, your head, your hands all the way up towards the side. Celebrating our existence again. Left hip draws back, right hip forward. And if you could visualize that you have a really tight onesie on and you have to zipper it up. So now the pubic bone's coming into the navel. So we're not just filling out our energy in the first, second, and third chakras. Our energy points from our pubic bone towards our rib cage. I like to keep my back right toe tucked under to push that right hip forward. And then we wingspan our arms out to the side until we frame that left foot. Just back and forth. Inhale, lift up through the heart. Exhale, Ardha Hanumanasana. Keep pulsing unless it feels really good to hold it in one direction. You can be shamelessly selfish in your practice because it's all about you. How can you find balance here? So now let's hold that left leg straight. Okay, hands can be on blocks, no problem. Slide just the left sit bone back. Oh, I feel it. Keep your left toes flexed towards your nose, left quadricep engaged. Yeah, feel the back of the hamstring open. You can always embrace the flexed toes. You can do whatever you need to do. Maybe propel left foot off to the left. If you suffer from sciatic, I love this pose. You can either take the heel off to the front right corner, or you just create a different angle until you feel where it's being impinged, that hamstring, maybe in the ischium, the sit bone. Breath in. Be patient. Continue to cultivate a calmer, fluid breath. Feel the spine grow long. No lumps or bumps in the front body or the back body. And then point through that left foot, feel the top of the foot open up. Revisit the left knee bending. Okay. So your hands are framing your left foot. You can either keep the right knee onto the floor or lift it up. It's up to you. Left thumb comes into that left hip flexor. Roll both shoulders on top of the other. Keep the left knee standing on the inside of the left arch of the foot, so left knee towards the right shoulder, and then elevate that left arm up high. So remember, you can be down onto the right knee, no problem. Keep spiraling your right rib cage closer towards the inner left thigh. Reach for the moon, slide the shoulders away. Reach for that new project that you want to manifest in your life. And then that left hand frames that left foot. Let's just pulse it back a few more times, just in case it got caught up. So now we're going to come into that one leg pigeon pose, taking the left foot off to the right. Right leg is straight. Otherwise, you can be gentle with yourself and recline onto your back, and the left ankle crosses on top of the right. And we thread the left arm in between the thighs as we interlace our fingers in front of the shin or behind. A lot of times I like to push my left knee forward and create little circles here, massaging the rim of my sacrum. Remember, you can have a bolster in front of you. You can prop yourself with a bolster underneath the hips, in fact. Here's another thing you might want to try on. So your hips are right on top of your bolster, right leg is still straight, and you can come forward. For me personally, that doesn't really soften the pose, it amplifies it. So do what you need to do. Get as snug as a bug in a rug. So soften your jaw. Tight jaw creates tight hips. Tight hips create tight jaw. Jiggle that jaw. So the hips tend to hold a lot of emotion that we don't deal with. It's like a little backpack or a pocketbook. We're like, oh, this emotion's coming up and I'm just gonna put it in my hips. I'm not gonna address it. And so sometimes when we start to stretch our hips open, those emotions bubble up. We acknowledge them, we bless them, we let them go. We don't have to overanalyze them at all. We're here to free ourselves, to be the best that we can be. And you're pretty amazing. I know all of you, and I love all of you. And then if you're in your thread the needle pose, you just come up. Otherwise, the rest of us will meet you up like this. And you eliminate your bolster or your block from underneath the left hip, cascade off onto it. Try to move smooth as glass as that right knee comes off to the right until it stands onto the outer edge of that left IT band. Again, you can prop yourself up onto your bolster or onto your blocks so you have a neutral spine. So a neutral spine is a nice curvature, same thing that we have in the nape of the neck, it's right in the low back. So you might have to elevate yourself. So once the spine is longer, we can twist a lot deeper. Stand firmly on the inside arch of the right foot, hug your right knee with a smile of the left elbow. Elevate the right hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale, watch the right hand float back behind your tailbone. I like to press my right forearm into my lower lumbar as though my right arm is a second spinal column. You might enjoy doing the same thing, or maybe your hand needs to come back a little bit. But can you think about rolling onto the front of the pubic bone so you grow longer from your tail to your head, and as you twist the navel part and gaze over the right shoulder, you get a deeper twist. Your organs love it, even if your mind doesn't. Inhale, sweep the left hand high if you have the space, as the left elbow comes into the outer perimeter of that right IT band. And then go ahead, unwind, feel that fresh blood, tonifying, bringing balance to your interior landscape. Take the right foot forward, unthread that left knee. Let's recline onto our forearms. Spread the feet, again, the windshield wiper effect. Knees back up, feet come in alignment with the hips as you push back up. Let's come into Navasana, which is a boat pose, just a little bit more core. Why not? It stokes our personal power, owning that we're all powerful gods or goddesses. Hands behind the hamstrings. Pick the feet up behind. Maybe you hold it here, slide the shoulders down. Look at your toes. Try to keep your toes in alignment with your nose. Maybe the hands reach towards your feet, squeezing the inner thighs together. What kind of boat are you today? Are you a rowboat boat? speedboat, a sailboat. Don't sink your boat though, right? You find where you need to be in your boat and then see if you can extend those legs. Maybe flexion through the feet, entertaining yourself. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug those knees. Maybe a big flubber breath out through the mouth. Inhale, sweep the crown of the head back up towards the sky. Let's revisit Baddha Konasana, cobbler pose. Soles of the feet together again. It doesn't have to be crazy close. Feel the hand behind your gluteals and just become a butterfly here. I like to tell this story. I have torn my meniscus probably about 10 years ago, and a Kundalini instructor guided me to do this because I was always taught that this bouncing wasn't so good. But it really assisted my meniscus to heal, believe it or not. So I was able to come into full lotus again. I didn't think I'd ever be able to do that, but there are never any limitations. Okay, we can heal ourselves. I did without surgery. Okay, extend the legs nice and long and forward, shake it out. Let's feel our hip flexors and then we'll start to do some gentle back bending, just so we have a nice round practice today. So Paschimottanasana usually is just a seated forward fold, right? It's pretty awesome. But today we're going to do something a little bit different, adjusting our hip flexors. So TV out through the fingers, walk them as far forward as you can. Okay, keep your feet flexed and just pick your right foot up off the earth and then lower. Drive the navel in towards the spine, left foot comes up. Good, in 8, and 7, 6, and left. Keep going. Let's do 2 more. Right and left. Good job. Pick the knees up a little bit. Slide the hands underneath, the arms underneath your knees, embracing your opposite elbow. From here, see if your nose can literally touch your knees. So you can kind of feel how your spine is straight with your thigh. So looking forward, try to keep the nose as close to the knees as you can until your forearms come onto the floor. And you nestle your nose right down. Keep your feet flexed. So this is an awesome pose. For those of you that are hypermobile and you tend to blow out through the backs of the knees, this forces you to create a micro bend in the knees. And then if you're not so mobile, it's pretty awesome just to stay here, right? You could even support yourself with a bolster. Just feel that low back spread open. And then if your legs too straight, just kind of walk your heels up, release the hands as we all come up. Okay. So from here, bend the knees. If you happen to have a bolster, have it close or a really firm pillow. If not, this is going to be just fine without it. As we come all the way down onto our back. Oh, the earth, it feels good. Draw your knees into your heart, splay the knees out to the side. Okay. Reach your hands in between your inner thighs and try to embrace your outside ankle or your foot. Try to push your tailbone into the floor. So if this is not so happy baby pose, because that's what it's called, happy baby, one foot can come onto the floor and then you can just work one leg at a time for a half happy baby pose. Otherwise, feel free to rock from side to side. It's not about getting your knees close to the earth. It's about how long can you grow from your tail to your head. So it's like a superhighway, right? From the tailbone to the head. We call it the Sushumna. It's where the masculine and the feminine energy combine, and they dance. They find harmony and equanimity. Maybe you create little circles like you're riding a tricycle. If you're working with one leg at a time, go ahead, exchange. And then gather the knees in front of the heart, deposit the feet onto the floor. So if you do happen to have a bolster, lucky duckies, you're gonna pick your hips up and just place that right gluteal more so on your bolster or your pillow. The knees come up right on top of the hip flexors. I'm almost falling off my bolster because my left gluteal is kind of cascading off. But it's just to create more space for my legs to be supported by the bolster. So my right leg is touching my bolster, my left leg's right on top of my right, and then that left arm extends out. Again, you can play around with extending the arm, bending. Hug that left knee closer towards the earth. Roll into the back of the left rib cage. So this is a definite amplified spinal twist than what we did before at the beginning of the practice. Inhale, gaze back up, draw the knees up, re-root the feet into the floor, and just like a typewriter arm, you sweep your bolster off to the left. You have to pick those hips up. And then the knees come back up on top of the hip flexors as the knees float off to the left. Sometimes it's nice to raise that top right leg as the right arm extends out to the shoulder. Maybe you pick your head up and plant that right ear closer towards the floor. Keep rolling into the back of the right rib cage. Inhale, gaze skyward, draw the knees back up, move the feet into the floor, and now place your bolster right onto your low back. If you don't have a bolster, or a couch cushion or something, maybe use a block just at the lowest level. Okay? And the tailbone is just slightly dripping off of the block. The bolster definitely is a little bit more cushy and comfortable, but this will serve us. So let's first extend one leg forward. We feel the hip flexors, the lymphatics opening up. And maybe the other leg can do the same thing. If you have any low back discomfort, don't do it. Just do one leg at a time. And if it still hurts your low back, just keep the knees bent. So from here, I like to use my fingers like a pitter-patter, like it's raining. And I kind of pitter-patter into my lymphatic area. Right where the pubic bone, the leg, the hip bone meet. And just discover if you have any like little curls. It feels like curls or peas. But don't go too hard because we don't want to collapse the lymphatics. We want to stimulate them. It's just a suggestion. And then we get to bend the knees once again. Pick the hips up. Slide the block or the bolster out from underneath you. And just lower the hips back down. Fingertips are close to your heels. Feet are hip-width apart. And the heels are quite close to your hips. Lift the heart, slide the shoulders down the back body. And then stand on your own 2 feet as your hips rise up towards the sky. Stand firmly on the inside arches of the feet, yet shoot your tailbone in between the knees. Breathing in, breathing out. If you have more space, interlace those fingers underneath you. Press your forearms heavy into the earth and breathe. Refrain from looking to the left or the right. Just continue to gaze skyward, pushing firmly into the back of the head so you have more space from the chin to the chest. And then elevate high onto the balls of the feet, release the hands, and roll down one vertebrae at a time. Maybe you need to do a few pelvic tilts as we come back down. Slowly take one knee at a time towards the heart, just nice and slow so we don't pull anything. And then we spiral our knees in one direction. And then that opposite direction. So if you happen to have a bolster or blocks, we're going to come into a supported Savasana. Also, if you prefer to sweep your legs up onto a wall, you could do that, or place them on a chair like this. The chair would be right here, or onto your couch, I don't know, onto your bed. Otherwise, if you'd like a little bit more of a heart opening, I like to use my bolster long, so it's vertical, and I recline like this. So it's more of a heart opening. It's kind of open up like that. Otherwise, if you don't have a bolster, you want to use blocks underneath your knees, like you're floating down the river, you can. Or you can place the bolster underneath the knees. So with the knees elevated, like this, it helps sink the low back into the floor, and it should give it a little bit more comfort, right? So if you have low back issues, you can do this when you go to bed at night. If you have an eye pillow, put it on your little eyes. Lift your heart, slide the shoulders down. I like to kind of wiggle into it. Sometimes I squeeze my tush and let it go. Spread your fingers as wide as you can, like rays to the sun, and let them contract. Please take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth, and no longer control your breath. Allow your body to melt into the support of the earth. Again, tap into the earth. She's healing every day, celebrating. The skies are bluer. The sea life is so happy. The oceans, the seas are clear too. There's a lot of magic that's happening, even if you can't see it. Try to tap into it and feel it. So resting here in deep, deep peace. The eyes sink back into the head. All the large muscles are softening. All the smaller muscles are softening. As you gradually relax deeper and deeper inside this beautiful retreat of yourself, say an affirmation, a prayer right now, which means stating your desire as if it were already true. Thank heaven for this reality and feel it in your heart and belly that your dream is actually a reality. For an example, say, thank you, heaven, for whatever you desire it is. I'm truly grateful for your continuous support. Now is a magical moment as you continue to go inside. Imagine that your wish has already come true. Feel it with your entire being. Then express thanks for its gifts and release it like a helium balloon that goes straight to heaven. If you need to take action to co-create this wish, you'll be given a strong and receptive guidance in the form of feelings, thoughts, ideas, inner words, signs, visions, or in dreams. It's important that you follow this guidance in order to bring the wish into physical form. So just listen, see if there's any information, any feelings, allowing the sound of the tinkshas, the bells, to clear all unwanted energies, physically, emotionally, mentally, and in your room. Returning to your breath, as this healing breath reawakens your amazing bodies in a gentle, soft way, creating movement, swallowing your saliva. You'll root your feet into the earth and bend the knees up towards the sky. Feel that connection again to Mother Earth, to Gaia. Rolling off onto your right-hand side into a fetal position, feeling as snug as a bug in a rug again. Straighten out through the top left leg, the left arm, the right arm, floats your body back up. The eyes will be closed as you just arrive back into a comfortable seat, full of gratitude. Our hands will unite into Anjali Mudra with this gratitude. Gratitude for all the sages and the saints that walk before us to give us the sacred science of yoga. Gratitude for our family, for our friends, for the love that we have. And we'll conclude this practice with one sound of Om, so please exhale, inhale. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is love, of peace, of light, and of truth. When you're in that place in you, and I am that place in me, we are one. Namaste.